having an affair with this guy. He even admitted to the operator that it was a friend.
Welcome, everybody, to Real Deal Media's live coverage of the No King's Day, a World at War special edition. I am your special edition host here, Dean Ryan, and I'm in transition like the rest of you. We have a live coverage of the parade of all the protests around the world, and I couldn't be doing this alone. I'm going to bring on my co-host who's riding shotgun with me here tonight, all the way out of Austin, Texas, a man who's been incredibly busy the last 2 days, but he's here tonight for the most important part, the one, the only John Bound. John, welcome to this very special edition of World at War at a special time. How are you doing?
Very good. I want to be known as Poncho Loco tonight.
Well, there's so much to be loco about, and I wish I had my poncho, but we're going to be monitoring this as John has literally found this. All you got to do is text A250 if you want any updates from the Trump White House, apparently. Anyways, we're covering this live coverage. Who do we have on the feed? Fox News?
No, this is the YouTube. This is straight from the White House right here.
This is straight from the White House. So we'll be monitoring this. We're also going to get other live feeds of the protests happening, and we have special exclusive live coverage in downtown LA. One of our henchmen is on the ground, and John, the reports I'm getting, it is protesters all over downtown LA.
Yeah.
It is packed. What are you seeing over there in Austin?
Well, we had a scare at the state capitol, and I haven't gotten any more information. I heard that about an hour ago. I heard that, and apparently there may have been a bomb scare at the state capitol due to the protests. We'll find out more about that as we go along here. But I did see the crowds in LA, and they're pretty substantial. They're pretty big in San
Yes, they
Diego
are.
too. But
Huge,
in
huge.
other places, I think in Houston, they just shut it down because nobody showed up. But I could be wrong about that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there are certain areas where they've shut it down because it's just no turnout. But I guess what we're seeing is where the liberals, where the strongholds are really at in the country, and so
Sure,
we shall
exactly.
see.
And
Yes,
it's also worth noting, I don't know if you saw too,
Yep.
they're trying to go to Orange County as well, and that was a sure dud. I can assure you of that. And if we have time, I think we may have time now. John, you have a report regarding the Minnesota senators have been shot, and what apparently is just timely, a No Kings protester who shot the
You want
Minnesota
me to go ahead and line
senators.
that one up?
Yeah, why don't we line that up if we could? Because we're kind of early with the parade.
Yeah.
As you do that,
I think
okay,
they started the parade early because of rain possibilities. So they've already got
okay,
things sort of underway. They brought out the vice president and Hegseth, and last I saw, I think I saw Trump out there too. So they're
okay. So why don't we? Okay, yeah. Why don't we play your report right now, and we'll get that going. And while you do that, while you get that ready, are we ready for that? Okay, we are ready. Okay, so here we go. We also have a special report exclusive for Real Deal Media right here tonight from Mike Adams coming up. And let's get to it. Here is John Bound's special report, and you'll see the senators. And there's a lot of rabbit holes in this and a lot of plot twists. Hold your hats and hold your ponchos too. Here we go.
Suburbs of Minneapolis were shattered early this morning by a cold, calculated act of political terror. State Representative Melissa Hortman, a Democratic powerhouse and former House Speaker, along with her husband Mark, were gunned down in their Brooklyn Park home by a suspect posing as a police officer. In a related attack, State Senator John Hoffman and his wife Yvette were shot multiple times, both now clinging to life after surgery. As the lone Democrat in the House to join Republicans, Hortman supported SSHF1, a bill stripping undocumented adults from eligibility for Minnesota Care, the state's low-income health insurance program. This 68 to 65 vote, with Hortman as the decisive crossover, marked a stunning departure from her party's progressive rhetoric. The Democrats decried Hortman's vote as cruel and immoral, with Representative Maria Isa Perez Vega chanting, "This ain't one Minnesota," in protest. Days before her murder, Hortman, physically shaking, defended her vote as a necessary compromise to secure a state budget in a tied 67-67 House.
I know that people will be hurt by that vote, and we worked very hard to try to get a budget deal that wouldn't include that provision.
Yet, this single act of pragmatism may have sealed her fate, as whispers of retribution swirl in the wake of her assassination. The shooter, identified as 57-year-old Vance Bolter, remains at large. After engaging in a firefight with police at Hortman's home, he fled on foot, eluding capture despite a massive manhunt involving the FBI, Minnesota State Patrol, and local forces. Bolter left behind a manifesto and a target list naming Hortman, Senator John Hoffman, and dozens of other Democrats. No official motive has been confirmed, but the No Kings flyers found in Bolter's vehicle tie him directly to the raucous anti-Trump rallies planned across Minnesota and the rest of the country.
We don't have any direct links. However, there were some flyers that said No Kings.
And the plot thickens as Bolter has been identified as a 2019 appointee to the governor's Workforce Development Board by Minnesota Governor Tim Walz.
My good friend and colleague, Speaker Melissa Hortman, and her husband Mark were shot and killed early this morning in what appears to be a politically motivated assassination.
And as Trump's military parade marking the U.S. Army's 250th anniversary begins to roll out, the left's refusal to cancel these rallies reeks of hypocrisy and cognitive dissonance. Preaching peace while aggressively rallying against kings exposes the fractured ideology that Hortman's vote and her death have laid bare.
We still are free thinkers, and that's what they want. They want to be able to They're already doing that with, hey, we're a democracy. No, we're not a democracy. We're a constitutional republic. We're not a democracy. But you see everybody on the left every day. And we even see people on the right now going, save democracy now. And they're pushing this big lie.
This brazen assault unfolding just hours before these rallies exposes a chilling escalation in America's political divide, where political motivated violence from the left is replacing discourse at an alarming rate.
I just don't even know why there aren't uprisings all over the country, and maybe there will be.
People need to start taking to the streets. This is a dictator.
There needs to be unrest in the streets for as long as there's unrest in our lives.
And sadly, the domestic enemies to our voting system and our honoring our Constitution are right at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue.
They're not going to stop before Election Day in November, and they're not going to stop after Election Day. And that should be, everyone should take note of that on both levels, that this isn't, they're not going to let up, and they should not.
They're still going to have to go out and put a bullet in Donald Trump, and that's a fact.
Look as his character is stabbed to death.
Where is John Wilkes Booth when you need him?
John Bound reporting for InfoWars. And there you have it. What's that?
Wonderful report from John. That was fantastic. And here's what we're talking about. These two right here. Democratic lawmakers shot last night. State Representative Melissa Hortman, State Senator John Hoffman, both recently voted against their party. Hortman supporting a repeal of free health care for illegals. Hoffman joining Republicans in the Senate to pass it. Yes, it is right as the parade's happening. And we're going to get back to the parade coverage here shortly. Okay, and let's get to that here. We have the Redcoats. Okay, John and I are going to be doing color commentary for all of you here tonight. And John, do we have any volume on Yankee Doodle Dandy?
Might be able to bring up some volume on another feed, because this feed. Oh wait, here we go. No,
here we go. Okay, everybody.
They have not figured out the volume yet.
Here we go. Welcome to the 250th anniversary of the United States Army Parade and birthday of Donald Trump, as well as Flag Day, John.
Yeah, it is. It's Flag Day. It's the 250th anniversary of the United States military. Currently, the Army's active duty numbers are 443,000. We have 498,000 in reserve. In the Navy, we have 329,000 and 57,000 reserves. The Marines, we have 168,000 active duty and 35,000 in reserve. The Air Force is at 317,000. Wow.
That is something. There is Donald Trump, Melania, and Pete Megaseth.
And there's George Washington himself.
Yes, he is. There's the Whig Party there and the Redcoats. John, I haven't been this excited since Netanyahu came to town. I have not been this excited. Look at that wonderful foggy weather.
Yeah, it's beautiful, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
That's a aerial shot there. Oh, here we go. They're bringing out
the
paratroopers.
Oh, wait,
kids
John,
at home,
we have...
if you want to go ahead and get your popcorn, kids, and sit back and watch this spectacular event, because this is a once in a lifetime event. And while this is happening, I do want to continue with, of course, we can't leave out Space Force, and there's 8,600 active duty in Space Force and 41,500 active duty in the Coast Guard, as well as 7,000 in the reserves.
That's right. And look at these. Reminds me of the old classical Hamas hang gliding of old. Yes, it is. Yeah. And I just want to say tonight is brought to you by RealDealMedia.tv. You want to become a member, all you got to do is go to RealDealMedia.tv, click your heels 3 times, and next thing you know, you'll be a $9 member like the rest of us. Ain't that the case? Here's some other things happening too, John. I do want to emphasize what has happened in the past 48 hours with the genocidal war now underway. As we have, there's Denzel Washington from Glory. I love that movie. But this is what's happening here. Wasn't that a great movie? We have not seen a Civil War movie since that incredible classic, have we?
I
John
looked
Bell?
up my last name. There's a Civil War registry. I don't know if you did that, but I looked up my family last name, and there are definitely a lot more of us on the Union side, but there were some on the Confederate side.
Oh, well, you know what? That is something. Well, we have Tucker Carlson now, who went on a tirade wonderfully last night. Tucker Carlson called Trump complicit in Israel's attack, urged the president to drop Israel and let them fight their own wars. I think majority of Americans feel the same. At this point here, we don't want to get in the way of this. There we go.
Yeah. Yeah. Tucker went off, and
good.
You know, I mean, that's another casualty of bad head of stating.
That is the technical term.
Hopefully, Trump will start getting the message that people are getting really impatient. This is a great display. I love America. I love to celebrate America. I'm looking forward to 4th of July, even though there's a planned biowarfare attack. We can talk about that later, but I do love celebrating America, and at the same time, you've got just these nincompoops out on the street, just hate their country that gave them everything. It's just a celebration of crybaby, little crybaby.
Here are some other observations. We have live audience, by the way. We're broadcasting live on The Real Dean Ryan on Facebook. Hello, everybody at Dean Ryan TV on YouTube. We're on X as well, live, as well as Rumble and Brighteon.
How do I send that feed out? Because I'd like to send that out to my folks. I've got a couple of
Absolutely. We'll get that to you here. And I'll send that to you in a private message as we are maneuvering and conducting audibles live on air. And
yeah, we really upped our game here. We've got videos. We can do videos at the wazoo now.
And we'll be doing DJing too on the side. That's just the kind of talent we have here tonight. As John, here's something else here. I've been covering parades for, good God, 30 years now, and good gracious.
You were seen 3 years old when you covered the Macy's Day Parade. I remember that.
And how great was that? Who can not forget that? And there, in fact, here's Mike on his horse. He wanted to be here, but he's in character here tonight.
He's out galloping around somewhere.
Yes, he is galloping around.
This is the cat.
Jeez, Mike. Okay, so there's that one. There's DJ. Oh, Milani has the summer blonde. Speaking of which, summer blonde lagers are Sam Adams' new flavor. Isn't that correct, John?
Absolutely, and we are not sponsored by them.
We are not, so we don't talk about them and patooey to them. Okay, here's another one. Here we have General Mahdi, who is giving us the weather forecast here tonight, John. Thank you, General Mahdi, who is telling us they got a layer of chemtrail sprayed above the cloud cover. Yes, they do. Who needs Willard Scott when you got General Mahdi? You are spot on. We have Seth Black, who is on his high horse. Yes, he is. And he's high. That's what I'm understanding. Look at those babies. An old man everywhere. It's just incredible, John. I've not seen a display of family unity since Sly Stone in the family of the 19th. And we just lost Sly Stone, didn't we, John?
It's a family affair, yeah.
Oh, my God.
It is definitely a family affair today. I can jump over to another feed if you'd like. There's more family on that. Oh, no, you got it. Okay.
Yeah, we got this. We're also going to be, we want to tell our people that we are looking for, we're going to be covering the live protests of the No Kings, and we have somebody on the ground. Okay, I'm gonna play some of these. John, I'm getting word that it is not as crowded as one might have thought.
In LA?
Yeah, it might have been early on. I think the information gathering was premature.
They did pack a lot of
Okay.
people up on those buses. Got rid of a lot of people.
Yeah, they did. Okay, so as we are waiting for the parade to continue, here's a we're gonna show you some footage. Well, look at that old paddy wagon there. There's a Boy Scout troop leader. But here's a quick report here coming up. Here's Mike Adams with his latest. And John, Mike just did a new experiment on all of the weather around DC. And I have some shocking photos you don't want to miss that he wants me to show this crowd exclusively. And look how hot Milani is. Did I say that? Are we still on? Here it is.
Hi, this is Mike Adams with a special report for Dean Ryan. And for Dean's audience, Dean's going to show you this image, which is a side-by-side image of the bombing of buildings in Tel Aviv that just occurred yesterday. And then on the right is the image from my microscope on June 2nd, 11 days earlier. And that image from my microscope is taken at 200x magnification. You can't even see it with the naked eye, but I published it on June 2nd at Natural News. And what it shows is that because I did prompt engineering, I prompted xylitol crystals with an actual prompt that was just asking it to depict the scenes of this summer in the Middle East encompassing geopolitics and war. It sketched out numerous images that were absolutely prophetic. And I'll send you another one. I'll send it to Dean of the one-horned ram. And the one-horned ram image was a depiction of, because the ram is the symbol of sacrifice in Islam, sacrifice of Abraham or Ibrahim. And the one horn, as I mentioned over a week ago, depicted that top leaders would be killed as part of the sacrifice of Persia. And then sure enough, there was a leadership decapitation strike by Israel. That was all depicted in the one-horned ram. And actually there's another image of a falcon that has also come true. So we now have 3 images from the same slide, images of the Middle East that are absolutely 100% depicting real scenes that happened almost 2 weeks later. So this, this is a pretty big realization about the nature of our universe and morphic fields, consciousness, and much more. But I just wanted you to see this, and thanks, Dean, for showing it, because people need to know that everything, past, present, and future, is already embedded in the morphic fields. And now we know how to tap into those fields and understand those fields were created by our Creator. They're part of the universe. So there you go.
Here's what he's talking about. Check this out. So he has these crystals. This is how they're predicting the future. You want to talk about Project Looking Glass? Mike's figured out. He's cracked the code. You can't make this up. Here's another one. This is exclusively for our effective audience, John, around the world. Tel Aviv on the left. This is how they're controlling things. It's some scientific stuff, but some pretty wild stuff too. Thank you very much, Mike. He may call in a little bit later.
Wow. That's are we living in a simulation?
Yes, we are, John. Yes, we are. And you can't catch a break even in simulation world. Okay, what say you out there?
Crappy simulation.
Representing the power, pride, and precision of America's field artillery.
Mike, crack the damn code.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Well, look at that. John, I think I've counted about 500 horses at this point, and they're all going to the glue factory after this. That's the sad part.
Thanks to our sponsor, Form Energy.
Those were
okay.
Those were war horses, man.
Okay, let's see what people are saying here. Are you at the parade? Are you at the parade? We want to hear it. Here's what's happening. Here's a little splash of what's happening in downtown LA.
And people with flags and protests all coming off the board.
States Army was on the front lines.
Okay, that's how crowded it is over there. And
yeah, I just got a picture from Fairfax, Virginia.
Oh, tell me.
And I can probably bring it up here. It's pretty miserable. It looks like there are two people there.
Well, you know me, I love misery. And
aircraft started to thunder across the skies in
let's see here.
I think there's more people protesting the No Kings rally in London than there are
in London.
Or no, I'm sorry, outside the U.S. Embassy. Yeah, in London. Yep.
In London. Here's another one here.
We don't want no kings either.
Yep. There's
we're back down on the ground.
Oh yeah.
World War II, one
that's the
World War II. Those are classic cars, John. The Oldsmobiles of old. I feel like lighting up a lucky strike to celebrate. Here's some additional footage.
This station is usually 10 cars. It's 4 or 5 floors. But it's definitely busier than normal.
A little busier than normal. Nothing to write home about.
Yep, that's a garage full of fun-loving criminals.
I think these are the old cars, John, and correct me if I'm wrong, that took leaded gas. Did they not back then in the 40s?
I believe you're right. And if you lift that hood up, the way they are set up is amazing. They've got all kinds of, you lose your tire.
The 82nd received the nickname All-American.
Somebody had one on display, and you lift that hood up, and it is chock full of what you would need in the middle of a battle.
By their iconic AA patch. Fort Bragg's finest, ladies and gentlemen.
There it is.
Applause, the 82nd Airborne Ceremonial
Is this so this is, which war is this? Which war are we in now?
Let's see. We're in World War II. I had all these army men at one point. I'm sure you did as well.
Yep, I set them all on fire.
Yes.
That's what you did.
Well,
that's what you did. This is World War II. Yep, my grandpa was in World War II.
Okay.
In a global fight like World War II,
Guam.
the US Army knew our troops needed
We're going to be showing footage of some protests here. We have some footage in New Hampshire. I'm going to get to that in a second. So, speaking of this,
very cool.
At some point, we're going to cover the whole Iranian situation here. We're also on the lookout for Rams, John. Dodge Rams, but in this case, man, Mike was on some good acid last night, I'll tell you that. This is...
What is the... okay, go back to the Ram. Sorry, I take that in. So the Ram on the...
Let me explain here what he explained to me. This is something called... I'm going to write it down. This is how they do predictive programming, everybody. This isn't just a bit we're doing here. Let me write this down. It's called Little... Excuse me, I can't even pronounce it. Little crystals.
Spell it.
Yeah, I'm going to put it on the screen for you.
There are multiple No Kings protests have reportedly been canceled in Florida due to
what a bust!
Low turnout and the threat of death because the sheriff in Florida was like, "You throw anything at our police officers, you'll be going home in a body bag."
So here it is. They use little crystals. That's how the predictive programming works. Project Looking Glass, you name it. We cracked the code here tonight, ladies and gentlemen.
The Screaming Eagles continue to lead the way.
Look at that. Look at that one rusty trombone over there. That's incredible.
Yep.
Okay,
so
we have
Desert Storm. Where we at?
We have Seth Black says, looks like Dolly the goat. Yeah, whatever happened to her.
It was the cornerstone of the U.S. Armed Forces.
That's
showing its
right
military might in World War II.
Seth used to drive an old Jeep in the Army. I towed the target for the tanks. I don't think they've really updated the Jeeps, have they? Just Humvees, maybe?
Why?
After Civil War General William Tecumseh.
Amazing.
Actually, he was named by the British. With almost 50,000.
Look at the safety standards and practice. Angelina Wolf says, remote brewing. God, I could go for a brew myself. Good idea.
In World War II, the M16 half-track was a force to be reckoned with. It was a self-propelled.
It is okay. We're waiting for further. I'm going to pull this up on. We're going to give you a little bird's eye view of the live protests happening here. I'm going to put that on my screen.
Yeah, let me see if I can find anything because
in fact,
it is
John,
not
I have something
like what we saw over the weekend. Things have
John,
really
check check the private chat there, John. I have provided some footage for you there. So,
okay.
There you have it. Okay. John is doing that. I'm going to put my Army helmet back on. You are watching Real Deal Media's live coverage of No King's Day, as well as the 250th anniversary of the Army, plus Trump's birthday, Flag Day, and what else am I missing? I think it's there's so many holidays here.
I watch a lot of Steve Lookner on Free Agenda.
Yes.
And he's
By the way, too, John,
Yeah.
there was an explosion in Vegas last night.
Yeah.
I don't know if you caught that. I have that footage as well.
Let me see if there's an update on the explosion in the state capital of Texas.
I have the whole bloody thing. So thousands of protesters saying of crowd into streets, but this is turning into a big dud, I must say. Here's one of the photos at some of the No Kings. I'll try to show this to you.
Well, the problem is, these people are here for free, and the people that showed up over the weekend were getting paid $13,000 a week, according to that Craigslist ad. So that's why they had to really show up and set fire to cars and do all the damage. But these people are just like, in the back of their minds, are like, man,
Well, who really wants to go to any protests unless it's just absolutely necessary? Here's what some of the protests look like. I have a stilled shot that I just can't get to at the moment because I'm about to throw this damn thing out the window, John, and
shortly after that defeat in July of 1951,
do an assassination on my computer here.
2 years later in 1953.
Okay, well, there goes that.
Combat consisted of small attacks.
357 Magnum.
During this war, the United States
Clean it up
deployed
for you.
approximately 6.8 million
Feeling very homicidal here.
to the Korean Peninsula.
Okay, let's just get back to the damn parade here. Okay, so here we have the 15th Infantry. Son of a bitch. Okay. Piece of shit. And did you say Austin was a dud as well? Am I hearing that right?
I don't know whether or not it's a dud. I'm looking into it, but I do know that there was a bomb threat earlier.
Oh, gosh. In the
Look
mayor
at all,
of
look at all that family. Look at all that diversity. Beautiful.
It's a family affair.
These people actually,
a lot of men.
Those are patriotic people. You don't really see them very often on TV and large gatherings.
That's right. That's right.
It's a pretty rare sight.
No,
it's the love
everything
of
drug dealers. Look at that guy. No windshield.
Yeah,
named the
screw
military utility tactical truck.
Right.
Or
Let's try this again.
It's doing some remote brewing.
The vehicle span more than
I could go. I'm telling you, remote brewing is truly the way to go here. John, I don't know if you saw the new Kamala Harris symbol.
Oh yeah,
And
actually, I'm the one that showed you that.
oh, can you please send that to me again, if you would? So this is happening
Another
in DC.
And at 2.5 tons, this deuce and a half, the
That's right. That's the woman who makes the apple pies.
Transport truck was a mainstay of the U.S. Army for
she is.
decades,
Martha.
particularly during the Vietnam War and Operation
Okay.
Iraqi Freedom. The deuce and a half
Operation Iraqi Freedom. The irony of that is incredible.
Include
Okay.
up to 5,000 pounds off road and 10,000 pounds on road.
Yeah, I got
Making
the
it ideal for
Kamala
moving
Harris
just about anything.
Yeah, if you could give me a solid, shoot that over to me. And we have to show the audience. Kamala Harris, just when you thought she was out of the game, well, she surprises us at every corner she turns. I'll tell you.
Delivering troops, firepower,
I'll tell you.
into some of the
Vietnam
most
War.
unforgiving terrain on earth. This
You
is
know,
the
we have
US
a,
Army in
we're,
Vietnam.
we're kind of products of the Vietnam War, aren't we all?
Fierce firefights and unwavering
World War II.
Well, you know what? I can share my screen on. I don't know any other way to send it to you here.
And over the music, marching.
Oh, it's okay. I can manage well.
Army helicopters takes to
Let me find that.
Flying
Anyways,
overhead right now, they help
John, I'll tell
define
you, I'm
the
expecting
Vietnam
Lee
War.
Greenwood to
That staccato
spawn
beat of the
to the
rotor
stage
blade
in
is
any
a
moment
sound of many
Yeah.
for another.
fire
190-year-old Lee Greenwood's going to belt
from
one out again.
transport and medevac to close
I,
air
s-
support
I
and
have high
reconnaissance.
hopes he might play the
Rotor
B-side
blades
to
the front
God
that
Bless
pull
America.
the wounded to safety.
And then,
Excuse me.
The OH-6
I
Cayuse
mean,
started
are
the
we going to have a
terrain with
Village People
unmatched
sighting?
agility. The AH-1 Cobra, also
Well, if
nicknamed
they
the
haven't died by AIDS by now, yeah, that's
Its
a
slim
good
design
possibility.
Indian's still
helped it
left.
survive and thrive in hostile
Mhm.
environments to protect
Is he?
soldiers below.
There's
And
private
the
parties.
icon of the era, the UH-1
Okay, I have it
will be
here.
the first turbine-powered helicopter in service with the U.S.
So,
military. There was
what is
nothing the
Kamala Harris
unit
preparing to do, John?
Don't give it away. When you just put it up and ask the
land
audience,
evacuation, and
maybe we'll
ground
get some
attack missions.
chats
The
here
Cayuse,
because you
Cobra,
didn't
and
see
Huey,
it.
ladies and gentlemen,
right at
three
first.
iconic
I haven't seen it.
Army
I haven't seen it.
symbols
No,
in
I
the
mean,
sky.
some people.
Oh, here it is.
see
Here
the
it is.
logo.
Oh, okay. You're right. You're right. Okay.
Yeah, they don't realize.
So here it is.
Problem
I
is,
have it right. Here it is.
The first Cavalry
Okay.
Division Band, based out of Fort Cavazos,
Perfect.
Texas, has played a
All
vital
right. So
role in
this is
U.S.
Kamala
military
Harris,
history.
20.
Since its
20
origins back in
son of a
1855 as the
bitch.
band of the 2nd Cavalry, it has supported
mean,
operations
very
from the Civil
interesting
War to
day.
Desert Storm. Over time, it's evolved
I
into
can,
Streamer
a
can rot in
powerful
hell.
force using
I have it right
music
here.
to strengthen
I can
bonds
share it.
between soldiers
They
and
keep saying I'm
individual communities.
loaded
From World War
of
II
all my
in
files.
Korea to the Vietnam War in
I want to
Bosnia,
bee
the
slap someone
1st Team
sometimes.
Band has
All right, here it
enhanced
is.
morale and upheld the division's enduring legacy. Today, the band continues its
There's the
mission using
bugler
music
player.
to
We haven't
teach
seen him in
protection
just
across
since
the
World War
National
One.
Army.
I saw those
So here's
guys.
the new.
Oh, yeah, there you
There it
go.
is, right
Ready
there.
to
Kamala
serve,
Harris
it
for the
remains
people.
an enduring symbol of the 1st
Yeah,
Cavalry
what's
Division's
wrong with this
legacy
picture?
and commitment to duty.
Well,
The band
you could say
performed
that the
"Hit
purple
Leather
is
Ride" on
the wrong
March
color.
composed by Captain
There are
Robert
no
you could say-
green
Wilson.
people.
This
There are no
piece
green
reflects the
people.
cavalry's
There's no green
transition from
people.
horses to mechanized
There are
warfare,
red,
Um,
brown,
the speed, the resilience,
blue.
and
You could
tradition
say it
of the
looks like
division.
Google a little bit.
Fort Cavazos, Texas, everybody, the 1st
Um,
Cavalry Division Band.
Yeah. Anybody out
And
there?
here-
Anybody want to chime in? Something wrong with this picture?
And here is the remix of that too, in case you didn't figure that one out. Here we have Netanyahu, Ben Shapiro, all the classics right there. Mark Levin.
Support of the Vietnam War. The first
Isn't that right,
contingent
Mike?
of U.S. Army
That's the
Yes,
advisors
it is.
arrived in Vietnam in the late 1950s.
Right, Jim?
That
Jim
quickly
thinks so
grew to a
too.
small team of
So
around
there he is.
100
Okay.
soldiers,
Trailer
which
Park Jim.
then expanded to more than 600 over the next decade.
Trailer Park Jim. Okay,
As
there
the
you
war
have it.
intensified, troops numbers quickly
What
grew.
is
The war
this?
between the South
We're
Vietnamese
back.
We have a lot of
and the
people.
communist
Yep, we're back
insurgents
to World
supported
War
by North
II.
Vietnam intensified.
We have
January
Tim Brown over there on
1959,
Rumble saying, I love the smell of
4,000
napalm in the morning. But
organized
Tim,
in
what about
7
napalm in
divisions
the
and 27
early
combat
evening? Have you
brigades.
ever tried that?
The United States began
Little
withdrawing
chamomile
troops
tea to
in
go
July
with it.
1969.
Little
The
napalm
last
behind the
armed
ears.
combat unit left South Vietnam in
That's
March
right.
1971.
Get the romance
The last
going.
U.S. combat soldier came home March 1973.
You betcha.
while a small
Charlie,
number of
don't serve.
non-combat personnel remained until April
we have
1975.
Lena Star Moon says, looks like a variation of the Eastern Star. Getting close now.
Put it up
close
again.
now.
Put it up again.
Let's put it up again.
Let's take another look at
Campbell,
it.
Kentucky.
And
Well, here we have
The unit is wearing replica Vietnam War
Kamala Harris
uniforms,
for the
signifying
people,
soldiers who served our nation
which
during
that in
this
itself
time.
is quite
Blistering
hysterical.
heat,
So there you have that
humidity,
one.
and unforgiving terrain demanded uniform
It,
innovation.
John, I have to
The
ask you.
Army,
To me,
they
Trump has
delivered.
seemed
New lightweight
very,
uniforms were constructed to
very
move quickly.
sluggish
The
lately.
M16 replaced the M1 Garand.
well, yeah, I don't think he's
Redesigned
eating his
ammo gear,
oatmeal as
faster
much.
reloads in
But,
combat.
yeah, I mean, the
That's a
guy
good
works.
point.
He does work a
Jackets and
lot.
trousers got lighter.
He's doing everyone else's
Well,
job, is what it is.
Well, it's important, John, to remain regular as the president. That's one of the protocols you have to have and standards.
Better grip, faster
Yeah.
drying, and
Um,
all-day
He
endurance.
did look a little sweepy.
We have Tim Brown, who's calling us calling it. Well, I can't see that far. We'll come back to that. You might be
Special
onto
thanks to our
something.
Sponsor Oracle.
It's the Vietnam era parade. Yes, Tim. We have Belinda, who's having a good time at the parade. Thank you, Belinda, from Australia. Here we have Rebel Mama saying the following. Is that where the term got you by the short in curlies came
All right.
from? John, you be qualified to answer that.
She's nailed it, or they've nailed it.
When
Okay.
Saddam Hussein's
They've
Iraq
nailed.
invaded Kuwait in
They're nailed.
August
Do we want to switch over
US
to
army
that
deployed
live
to
feed?
Saudi
Hey,
Arabia
brother!
the aggression in the region for what was known as
What
Operation
the hell was
Desert
that?
Shield. By the
Sorry.
fall, more than 750,000 troops comprising U.S.
Here we have
soldiers,
Robin
Marines,
Skipinski saying the following. Does anybody know if they caught the guy that shot those people in Minnesota? Good question. Are you talking
Yeah,
about this
no,
gentleman right here?
good question, because I was doing that report, and I did want to add one more thing. I mean, there's a few more things to add about this.
Please
But
do so.
I was getting that report out, and this thing is just going to spiral into at least 3 or 4 more reports, because we put that guy back on screen. His wife also worked for Waltz. And
I'll be a
yeah,
wow.
They both work for Waltz, and they've been working for him for a long time. These are all that is a very odd person to have done this. And he also wore a latex mask. That'll be the next thing you see. So on the door cam, he's wearing a latex, some kind of
First Infantry Division, one of the Army's most
bad
storied
grandpa-looking
Nicknamed
latex
the Big Red One
mask
because of the
when he
distinctive
goes
red
into
on their unit patch. As
do
the oldest
evil
continuously
deed,
serving
and
division
he
of
was
the
able to
US
get
Army,
away.
the unit has
Apparently
participated in
owns
every major
still not a
operation
lot
since
of
World War
great
I,
information
living
on the
up to its
guy. I mean,
motto,
I've heard
"No
that he
mission
owns a
too
bunch of
difficult,
funeral
no
homes. I've heard he
sacrifice
owns
too
security
great,
companies.
duty first." The first
Very
Infantry
wealthy.
Division was originally
And it's
established
very
as the
odd
first
that he
Expeditionary
would have
Division in
done what he
1917
did, but
that
it's
spearheaded the American
obviously
Expeditionary Forces in
super
France during
premeditated.
World War I.
And he's
In
on the
World War
loose, as
II,
far as I
the
know.
fighting first
And I
stormed
was trying to get that
Omaha Beach
report
on
in before
D-Day
they
and
caught him.
liberated Nazi
You know,
concentration
because like in
camps.
the report,
The highly decorated
it's a
unit
very
has had
basic
37
report
members
trying to
of the
explain to you
Big
what's
Red
happening,
One
but
awarded
there's
the
going to be
Medal
so
of
much
Honor.
more to it.
In Washington,
And
D.C.,
initially,
the
when it
1st
happened,
Division
it was
monument
like, okay,
stands in President's
2
Park,
Democrats
memorializing
from
those who
Minnesota have been
died
killed in
while
their
serving
homes,
in the 1st
including their
Infantry Division.
spouses have been
Ladies
shot.
and gentlemen, they are the Big Red One, the 1st Infantry
2 of them were
Division.
killed. The other 2 are fighting for their lives right now.
Okay. And I'm going to show just a little glance of this. Keep going, John, as you prepare that. Here's the No King's Day. Okay.
Yeah.
Here we
Okay.
have,
Yeah. Let's go back to No King's Day.
Well, that's for me.
Yep. We're phoning it in. So
You don't
I
know.
guess we're gonna have to give Rebel Mama the prize, because we don't really want to outright say what that picture represents. But the real question is, did they really know what they were doing? And I almost think they did. With the Kamala
Oh, you're
Harris.
thinking this is premeditated. Okay.
I think the
Okay.
Kamala
So
Harris look. I think it was an inside joke, and they just thought they could get away with it. But,
interesting. Okay. Per usual, I'm having issues. We'll come back to me because my technology is from 1991. What a wonderful year that was.
Well, let's try to
Hey,
get us. A good stream to get is probably LA's helicopter. They've got it.
Yes.
But, we've got these tanks. Look at that sucker. That's got some kind of high-end. What is that device on the top, man? I think it'll melt your face off.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. That is. I'd like to see one of the protesters try to stop one of these puppies right here. We have
The missile
King
launcher?
sausage fingers. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Yeah.
Katie Reese saying,
Yeah,
they did find the
think,
guy.
I think it's kind of hilarious that these protesters are being so violent, and they want to direct their violence towards Trump and Melania and Megaseth, but there's no way they can right now. I mean, that's some pretty good security.
Yes, it is. Okay, we have our guy on the ground at Union Station, who is.
Let's go to him.
Box cutter. Okay, I'm getting word that there's box cutters, disposable blades. People are leaving behind at the Union Station in Los Angeles right now. I'm going to have more word on that shortly. There's Jesse. Oh, that's not Jesse Ventura. That's Dana White. And didn't that look like Jesse just for a brief moment?
Yeah, no, that's the big not WWF, but the other guy.
There you have that one. And
Yeah, I'm
Still no word of these guys anywhere.
Oh,
No.
just in, a man drove through a crowd of No Kings protesters in Virginia. Here we go.
There it is.
Here we go. Gateway Pundit. You want to pull this up for you? Or you want to just stay on the... I'll just read it to you.
Yeah, you could shoot it over to me here, John. I'll get that for you.
Yeah.
Or just go ahead and read that. There's little Marco and
there you go. You can pull it up. I'll read it. Just in, man drives through crowd of No Kings protesters in Virginia. That was it. That was
In the Gulf War, no division hit harder or moved
man is
okay, I'll pull this up right here.
Crowd of leftist protesters at a No Kings protest near Washington, D.C., injuring at least one person.
There you have it. There's
21-year-old Joseph R. Cheklik Jr. 21-year-old Joseph R. Cheklik Jr.
That is something. Okay, yeah. Well, we're giving you the updates as they happen, everybody.
Well, what I was saying earlier about the Minnesota thing, before I forget again, is that the oddity of it, the way that it
in 20 countries across
slowly
5
progressed from the morning was
From
that
World War II to
those
today, Old Ironside
politicians had been
remains
murdered
and
and
always
injured.
ready.
And Waltz came out and said this was a politically motivated attack. You know, kind of hint, hint, wink, wink, nudge, nudge. It's the Republicans. This is Donald Trump's fault. And then it turns out it's his guy.
It is, yeah. Well, that's the interesting part about it. We have Tim Brown saying whoever is doing
a guy that works for him,
whoever's doing the feed just called Rubio senator, not secretary. Okay, was that you or I who did that?
It was probably you.
Tim Brown, please let us know who made that error, and we will remove him violently from our parade here.
Security.
Yeah, we can't have any screw-ups here. That's part of the contract. Here we have Seth Black, who is on the ground, and Representative Catherine Clark, Massachusetts, is telling everyone the Hoffman shooter is Republican. How convenient.
Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah, and I've seen some other people
Convenient.
online saying that this is all Donald Trump's fault. They're not. The cognitive dissonance is so strong that they won't be able to accept the actual facts that not only is it a Democrat. I mean, we don't know everything yet. He left the manifesto and he had like, gosh, how many names was it? How many names?
Okay, we have our guy on the ground. Okay, there's Melania. No, that's not Melania. That's Christy Nome. How about a moment of silence?
Yeah. Who was handed a resignation letter today by another Congress member who wants her to resign because she was attacked by Padilla.
Okay, we have live on the ground coverage, John. We're going to go to that. We're going to come back to the parade here. We have friend of the show. He goes by Frankie. Frankie, tell us what you see there over live in downtown Union Station.
Yes, sir. We just got here. I would say it's probably about 75% protesters, 25% neutral. And we're heading to the federal building. Just got here, man. So we're feeling it out together. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to hear you because it's a bit loud. We're going to go this way. Yeah. And you can hear the people lighting off fireworks or gunshots.
Wow. I'm going to turn down your Okay, thank you for that. This is live from downtown LA. And that's not Frankie, if you can hear me, can you kind of describe Frankie, we're going to come back to you when those
I don't think they're ever
bloody sirens leave.
Will they ever stop?
No.
But that looked really chaotic. I really like that footage.
Okay, we're going to come back to him. Okay, I think he's
Okay.
I'm going to turn him down. I'm going to mute him on that. Okay, let's look at this is live from downtown LA. This is one of our auxiliary Real Deal Media's ground reporter.
Wow, it looks kind of empty. I mean, unless he's heading to where the action is.
Well, it's empty, John, because we're not there, and that's the part of the problem. So we have a live feed, everybody. If you're just joining us, this is Real Deal Media's special edition of World at War, because there's a war on all fronts here, as you can plainly see.
See that shot? They're lining the cars up. So yeah, they're lining those cars up. And when over the weekend they had a helicopter shot, and that's what they do. They line those cars up to create a perimeter. So
okay, Frankie,
block off the perimeter.
I can hear you
now.
You dictate the shot.
I just want to say maybe steady your hand a little bit, and we can hear you loud and clear. So don't feel you have to go arena rock on us, but kind of give us a briefing of what you have been experiencing getting to downtown Los Angeles all the way from Pasadena. What is the scene like, Frankie?
Well, the first indication that something was definitely up was when we went to Sierra Madre Station in Pasadena, right? Usually on a Saturday even, it's pretty dead. There's maybe 4-7 cars per floor. Today it was packed, and I'm thinking, is it a holiday? Yeah, a Flag Day. And then as the people trickled off the train, you could see there were protesters, lots of protesters. And as we got to Union Station, which is right there behind me, we were coming out, and you can see they've tried to block here for a section. This section here is completely shut down. This is the 10 East, so this is closed, as you guys can see. There's something going on here, and where we're heading is right around this building, right up this little street here, is where all the forces are. So it'll be a little shaky because I don't have a gimbal, unfortunately. That's a Fed car right there. So it's pretty chaotic.
Now, Frankie, if you can hear me, I want you to maybe expand on what you shared with me about the box cutters. You said you saw box cutters.
Yeah, honestly, I would have recorded it for future footage, but because it was pretty busy there, I took it on myself to get it out of there because I stayed for about 1 to 3 minutes, seeing if somebody panicked, came looking for their phone, not tying it to the box cutter, but about 3 times. I didn't want anyone to just walk in and grab a box cutter and a phone, and I just gave it to security at the Union Station, and they will hopefully turn it in. I said, hey, man, they want some person to come along and see a razor blade. You know, it's one of those box cutters.
Right.
You know, where that tip. Yeah.
Okay, Frankie, here's the police officers. Here's the LAPD live in Los Angeles, downtown LA. Do you know what are the cross streets there, Frankie? Because I'm very familiar with the territory out there.
This is, Union Station right up here. This is
it's the train station. Okay.
Commercial Street up there. This street here is Arcadia Street. Right behind you. It's like, sorry. Don't worry about it. And it looks like they got the freeway shut down. The 10, it looks like. That's the San Pedro Pasadena. See, that's the 10 over there. See the town? So obviously something's gone. Here they come with.
That's a good shot we got. I've got another shot here I can share with you of them facing. No, that's the shooter from Minnesota. That's what he was wearing, the bad grandpa mask. That has nothing to do with the protest. But let's see. I can let me bring up another feed here. Of you still there, Dean? Bring up another feed here. I'm going to stop that screen for a second. I'm going to bring up, and then I think we've lost your audio, Dean. But here we go. Here I'm going to share another shot. There's another shot. Yeah. And so this is the perimeter that they've set up. Let's see if we can bring up some audio here. reporter is behind. They're being very cooperative with the press. Of course, it's Los Angeles. They've gotten better at that. Gotten a lot better at that. But they are okay. Well, that's an interesting. Yeah. Okay. And now our intrepid reporter is now in the front lines. In fact, he might even be in the front. And here comes the helicopter in the sky. Common sight in Los Angeles. I think Dean would agree. You constantly see the helicopters. But lately, they've had military helicopters scoping out the perimeters. And see if we can bring some audio up here.
John, I got kicked off. I've lost all audio. I don't know if can you hear me
You're
okay?
back. Yeah, now you're back.
Yeah, I don't know what the hell is going on. Usually when we do these things, we're getting scrambled, jammed left and right. But let's go back to Frankie there at Union Station. Frankie, if you can hear me, are we watching a rollout of the LAPD? Are these ICE officers? Is the SWAT team? Can you identify the law enforcement at hand here?
Well, I'm not Frankie, but I would assume that that's LAPD. There's Frankie.
Frankie, tell us what we're looking at here, if you could.
We were going to walk from Chinatown Union Station area over to City Hall. That's where the main protest group, tens of thousands of people or whatever, are. But what it looks like they're doing here is they're locking it down so they can control the crowd. Like this street here that I can't seem to get to because they've got these soft locks on these side streets. It looks like they're trying to close it down so people don't keep going. It looks like they're moving out the men on horseback, which is usually the last tactic right before the morning to get the hell out of here is enforced. So that's what it looks like, and it looks like they're going right towards City Hall, which is about 2 blocks away.
Okay.
I mean, they've got the whole thing locked down, freeway locked down, they've got the exit here locked down, all the convenience. There we go.
Are they shooting? Oh, they're shooting. Here we go. We got live action right here. Wow.
Oh, here come the.
This is live, everybody.
I think those
this
are
is happening in real time. Real time, live. Frankie, are you okay?
We're good.
It's going down right now.
I'm like drinking a Starbucks.
Give us some audio on that. Give us some audio on that, please.
Frankie's fine. He's drinking a Starbucks.
Okay, Frankie. Frankie, you may not know. You may not know, but they're now shooting just streets away from you. The feds have now come.
Yeah, there you go. That's...
Okay, they're now firing rubber bullets out. You might want to seek cover, Frankie.
Yeah, I think they're coming towards Frankie.
Frankie, if you can hear me, you may want to get the hell out of here right now.
Frankie, finish your Starbucks.
I cannot hear you. I cannot hear you.
Finish your venti latte, Frankie, and get out of town.
Yeah, the federales have come. They're now shooting rubber bullets. You may want to get out immediately. Okay, this is what's happening just blocks away from you. This is full on force. Okay, so Frankie's over here. Okay. Interesting.
You're
not going that way. Move.
That audio?
Here he goes. Here he goes.
What's going on? I could not hear you the last 4 minutes. I could not hear. You guys were trying to warn me that something was going down, and I could not hear you. I had a chopper right above me, about 200 feet up.
Okay, Frankie, listen to me very carefully. Frankie, listen to me very carefully as just blocks away from you.
Where is Frankie? Can he see across street?
Yeah, the federales are now shooting rubber bullets at everybody. You may want to start maybe heading towards shelter.
They don't need no.
Give me shelter. Okay.
Yeah,
We're going to monitor.
Right. Okay.
The cross street, and then
There it is, right there.
We can get a street off of this. Oh, what is that? Was that Figueroa?
Figueroa?
You guys shutting down the line?
What?
Okay, that's Figueroa. More horses.
Frankie, what's? Oh, that's Temple Street. So,
okay,
Frankie,
Temple.
what street? What street are you next to?
Yeah, we got to find out.
Yeah, because I could Google map this and we can plot out where he is.
Frankie, what are your cross streets? You can hear us. Poor guy.
All right,
Arcadia. And what they're doing is they're doing a soft lockdown, and it's like a wall. They're pushing the wall back every 5 minutes. See how they're closing the street down? See, we've basically been moved back every 5-10 minutes. So there's another operation going on, and it seems like all the action's up there, but I'm having a little bit of trouble to it, to be honest.
So
because down here you've got crowd control, but that's amazing.
Frankie, you're near Arcadia, you said?
Said that.
Yeah, he's by
Arcadia and Union Station.
All right, so all the action
Union Station by the one north.
By Union Station. They're coming for you.
Happening about 2 miles away down by Temple, and I don't know.
All right, so
right, but
well,
if they've got a lockdown like this.
Yeah, they're putting a
That means
lockdown on the whole
it's pretty
thing.
break.
Oh, no.
We also have word of 300 Marines pushing the crowd back at the federal building. They seem to be going towards the federal buildings.
What is that building, Dean? You know Los Angeles. Where are we at?
Yeah, so this is Union Station. This is going to be by Echo Park. Okay, so there's Echo Park, if my memory serves correct. Yeah, I don't know. Let me see here.
Oh, he's right
That's
around. Yeah. Oh, that's a good shot.
That's a federal
110
building.
and 101.
Right, that's a federal building right there.
Oh yeah,
okay.
he's right behind you.
And we have protesters. Frankie, can you interview one of these protesters if it's viable? If you can maybe go up to one of them and just kind of ask.
Yeah, what is City Hall, which is kind of gets you.
Okay, right.
But what's happening is they're making what you call like a soft line, where they're just slowly locking it down. You know, and they keep moving it back. So if you guys figure out a way,
Okay, a lot of people
we'll just tag along.
Across from the City Hall, the Union Station, there's a park, and people are heading that way.
Okay. All right.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have fun. Be safe out there. Be safe. All right. Man, just got to go with the crowd, right?
Frankie, try to hang with them and maybe follow them if you can. Would that be okay?
Yeah, I mean, we've already seen a couple people repeated times. So
yeah,
we can do that. If they're going, let's follow them. See where they're going.
Yeah, why don't you follow them where you're going? John, I'm going to go to you real quick as we watch the Los Angeles sheriff, who are very pissed off at Newsom. Let's add some political elements to this. John,
I'm going to save some. I'm going to save some battery. I'm going to kill this call, and I'll call back in like 3 to 5 minutes when I get to the destination, because there's no sense of just having the lockdown walk for 10 minutes. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, and look at the chemtrails above you too. Can you maybe get an aerial view of that, of just how prevalent that is in DC, on the East Coast, everywhere? Okay, so go ahead and save your battery, Frankie, and we'll get back to you shortly. Okay, there you have it. John, I am.
Yeah. So Trump put in 4,000 National Guard. The Channel 4 lady needs to change batteries or something. He put in 4,000 California National Guard and 200 Marines into LA. And it's, what day are we on now? Is this 7?
It's got to be night 7.
But I think it was earlier today, or maybe it was last night, when Newsom was finally like, "Oh yeah, I'm the governor, and we need to lock this down, and we need to stop this from happening." So he's been ramping up the the rhetoric of somebody that actually works for us or works for the California people. But up until then, it's been all anti-Trump stuff. But he's another thing that's probably really angering LA residents about Newsom is he's pushing for a permanent ban on THC products. A lot of people.
Wait a minute.
Not,
wait, hold on a second. Let's talk about this for a minute. What is going on with THC and Newsom?
Yeah, lately he's been pushing for a permanent ban on hemp THC products, citing public risks due to their accessibility to minors. You know, the old song.
Okay, and do we have the parade footage as we wait for Frankie? In fact, you know what?
Sure,
Let's just keep
can
it
bring
here.
that up. But you thought Californians were angry before. I mean, you burned down Malibu and then take over the streets of LA. You take their weed away. Oh God.
Well, I remember too, John, if you recall, back in 2020 when Newsom decided to shut the beaches down, especially in Orange County, Surf City, USA, that was the red line that was crossed, if you know what I'm saying. Okay, here, let's answer some of these questions in comments. And
yeah, and I'll go back to the parade. Bring us up.
Okay, we can check that out too. This is much more interesting from a far. Oh, here we have Angelina Wolf saying they need a George Floyd.
And they thought they had one this morning. They thought they had one with this. It would have been perfect, except it wasn't the same situation. It was a Democrat on Democrat eating itself, eating its tail kind of thing.
We have link is on your X feed, John. Something's happening there. All right. We have also we have Marta saying, what even has become of the homeless tent city folks that were there before? That's a good question. Lena Star Moon thinks so too. Exactly, Marta. Look shocking, didn't it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Rebel Mama is alerting us to the fact that Bibi is now begging Trump to join Israel. It's like, okay, come on in. The water's warm. So,
yeah, what a just total. Speaking of that, John, I found this clip of one of the now dead generals of Iran after the strike, the preemptive strike by Israel just the other night. Check this out. This was just a week ago, everybody. Iran was ready to sign a deal just a week ago, but that's not what Netanyahu wanted. Go watch last night's World at War, and we made the whole case and showed old clips of the guy. He's never been to war he didn't like.
We are ready. Shemhani is one of the few people in Iran authorized to speak about the sensitive negotiations.
We can definitely have better relations with the U.S.
Shemhani said that Iran is willing to commit to never having a nuclear weapon, to getting rid of its stockpiles of highly enriched uranium, to only enriching to a level needed for civilian use, and to allow inspectors in to oversee it all, in exchange for lifting all sanctions immediately. He said Iran would accept that deal tonight.
Yes, we are ready.
Yep, there you
have that one. Dead now. Want to comment on that, John?
Well, nothing says war machine like an Iranian general ready to sign on the dotted line and you just blow his ass up to keep the war going.
Unbelievable.
So out of control, man.
Okay, we don't. Yeah, here's the parade here. If you're just getting here, we're literally monitoring like 3 to 4 different things all at one time, and you know how hard that is for men to multitask, John. I'm sure you're well aware of that.
Well, we do. We change the channel a lot. We seem to be changing the topic in this show almost as much as we change the channel.
Yes, and
there are so many things happening. But one thing in particular, if you would indulge me, that I'd like to bring up and share with you, that I've noticed lately. If you want to just maybe, I'm gonna stop sharing the screen here. I'm gonna show you something else. And
please do so.
I think you're gonna really like it.
And while you do that, here's just a reminder of what Dan Bongino and his what he's doing for us lately.
That's right. What cause is dear to your heart?
Cause is dear to my Israel, the defense of Israel, Israel, the defense of Israel.
You guys are worshiping one Jew.
That's a mistake. You should be worshiping every single one of us, because we all die for your sins every single day. And that's exactly what's going on here. We're all God's firstborn, and we're dying for your sins right now because the Jewish people in the land of Israel are the bulwark against the orcs.
Hey, yo, Pambandi, our DOJ queen. You said what? Epstein's client list is just chilling on your desk? That was like days ago. So where's the drama?
Here we go. What are we looking at here, John?
So this is the Kale Festival in Ethiopia. So they have a festival where it's not like sumo. They celebrate the fattest man, and apparently he's the winner. The Kale Festival in Ethiopia. He looks like he's having a hard time.
Oh man, this is great. This is great.
He ate everything.
Well, let's give some color commentary on the wonderful festival in Ethiopia, which is brought to you by Ethiopian Coffee, some of the best Arabica coffee beans you'll ever have from Ethiopia, and definitely
you could really use some Ozempic.
Yeah, they should be dropping it by the plane loads.
They should. Yeah, the UN should be dropping Ozempic on that part of Ethiopia.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, we're going to get back to that footage of downtown Los Angeles. We're waiting for Frankie, who almost got shot at had we not told him to skedaddle. And here we have Robin Skopinski saying the following: maybe the USA needs to partner with Iran instead of Israel. Iran was ready to make a deal, and Netanyahu effed it up. That's what he's great at. That's what he's great at doing.
That's what he wanted to do. That's the plan.
Mm-hmm. We have our weather forecaster, the real General Monty, saying got some rain moving into D.C. with a 30% chance of precipitation following that. Thank you very much. Okay, we have Lena Starman that says, what the hell? Yeah, what the hell is good? Exactly, Rumble Mania. I thought it was a pregnant woman. I thought they were going to give birth on air. I really thought that was the case. We have Rebel Mama says definitely not from the Ethiopian Tourist Board. No, they're not. No, they're not. God, imagine giving birth like that. Here we go. Here's the parade.
For readiness and battle.
Okay.
Like it's not raining yet.
Okay. And John, do we still have that feed from downtown Los Angeles with the Telemundo?
Oh, I can bring that up for you. Hang on.
Yeah, let's bring that up here as I go through the comments here. We're going to wait for John to bring that up. As Frankie's going to be calling this back, our on-the-ground auxiliary reporter here. Here we have some more people. We're still waiting for the 300 Marines. And let me just say, yeah, doesn't it look like a movie set? A lot of people said it has looked like a movie set. We've seen just the piles of bricks. We've seen the cars. We've seen the people that were staged. And how many guys that are standing on top of cars waving flags around looking like they just got out of the Gold's Gym over there in Venice Beach? Okay, what do we have here?
And apparently Jayapal, Representative Jayapal, is claiming that that was a big thing they were putting out. That's why I interviewed Biggs. It was good to interview Biggs because that's the guy they really want from the Proud Boys. And there's been this.
Let's talk about that. If you don't know, John Bowen has a new interview out on. Go find him on X. I'm going to just play that.
Newsbound on X, or it's posted there, or you can find
John. If you
Bound Report.
Give me that. Give me that in the private chat. What is your handle in the private chat? I'll put that on display. Go catch John's exclusive interview with Joe Biggs, formerly of InfoWars, but originally the best friend of Michael Hastings from 10 years ago. You want to see that? That's an incredible exclusive interview. You want to give us some tidbits on how that interview that you conducted went, John? What can we expect to see from that interview?
Well, he's very candid about how he feels about the way he's been treated by Trump. His sentence, him and a handful of guys, a lot of people had full pardons out of the massive amount of people that were arrested by the Biden regime. But him and a lot of the key Proud Boys, their sentences were just merely commuted. So somebody like Biggs, who has been awarded Purple Hearts and has served in the theater of war has pension, has benefits coming from the military, and those were all just completely taken from him. So he gets out and he's got nothing. And so now the Proud Boys, they have a lawsuit, upwards of $200 million lawsuit. They've got a lot of things to be angry about. And so that's part of the interview. And another one is his take on these No King rallies, if you will. And as I was putting it up, I noticed that the left, the Democrats, were shouting about how they were afraid that the Proud Boys were going to show up and, be aware that they were coming to get everybody and all this. And the Proud Boys made it very clear and very public that they weren't going to be anywhere near this thing today. But here's Jayapal, Representative Jayapal, saying that they're sending memes about trying to, I don't know if they spelled that right, but some kind of agitation. But
okay. I have an update for us, John. Right now, we have Frankie, who's going to be joining us again. He said he's finding it very difficult to get to City Hall. There's a lot of roadblocks and a lot of anomalies he's experiencing. He just sent us the following little clip of what he's now enduring. Check this out. Wow. Well, yeah. So if you saw that, the chicken wire everywhere, you saw the formations now rolling out. This is some wild stuff, John.
Yeah, apparently the Marines are pushing the crowd back. So I saw a few Marines, but it's mainly National Guard and LAPD that are on the steps over there that are pushing people back. But they are still pushing, trying to push into the federal building on 300 North LA.
Okay, we're getting word. This is from Rebel Mama, and let me read this for you. Trump has informed Bibi that he should go F himself officially. Okay, is that true? Is that true? What do we know about that? And yeah, please send us a link on that if you could, because I don't know if that's the official.
Maybe she did, and I can't get into Telegram. Sorry.
Claudine says drama never stops. Drama never stops, and that's just with Real Deal Media, and not to mention Trump and all that. Okay.
Yeah, Rebel Mama, I can't get into Telegram.
Yeah, but thank you. It's the thought that counts, as they say. Do we have any audio on this? Do we have any audio?
Oh, here we go. Yeah, probably. Yeah, there we go. The Argent News Network says the U.S. has rejected Netanyahu's request to join the war. Israel pushed the Trump administration to take part in military action against Iran to dismantle its nuclear program, but a U.S. official says it's not on the table at this time. Oh, that's not a no, though. And the source on that is Axios, so that's a pretty good source when it comes to that.
Okay. John, I want to harp on that coming up here as we are monitoring the war on all fronts. We have Frankie, who's calling us back live from Union Station. Let's get his feed, and he is live. What do we have here, Frankie?
Okay, this is up a little closer to City Hall. I don't know how close I can get to, but it looks like they're keeping a path open off the Arcadia exit up to, looks like Selma Ave. And then the crowd goes all the way down there to City Hall. This freeway's not closed down, at least not this section.
That's the 101. That's the 101 freeway. All right.
Yep. Alameda Union Station. The police force all the way down the ramp to here. They're blocking it off. And I'm trying to find Sherry. I don't know where she is. I'm going to have to call you back. Oh, there she is.
Okay.
There she is.
Go find your wife. Yeah. That's important.
No, so what we're doing is we're going up here it looks like we're going right into the thick of it, kind of. And it's funny, after you guys said, get out of there, be careful, blah, 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 which I kind of disregarded because that's just how I'm wired. Immediately after about 3 minutes, there was what looked like a plume of smoke. And it was, I talked to a protester, it was federal release of tear gas. Now, I'm not talking about the tear gas that they shoot personally in canisters. No, we're talking like some type of tank tear gas. I mean, the whole freaking block was like a fog all around the city block. I was like, holy shit. I'm like, you can't buy that stuff commercially.
Wow. So you got a taste of the tear gas, is that correct?
No, I didn't. It was about a block and a half away, down this way, but it was down there by Alameda. It was at this block down here where they got it all blocked off, which you can't see because we're going into the middle of it, or trying to. And we'll see what happens.
That is something else.
One of the points Sherry made was, when I said we should get out of here, is there's a lot of children down here in strollers. So, I don't know, they might not do anything, but at the same time, one of the protesters said that they did with children, and where that tear gas went off, there were children there. So, it is what it is. It's kind of fucked up. Excuse my language.
Okay, it is. Frankie, hold tight. If you can hear me, Frankie, try to hold on here. Frankie, if you can hear me, try to commandeer somebody to do a quick interview. Just ask them some basic questions. If you could try to set that up at your leisure, we'll come back to you. John, here's some footage coming out of New Hampshire, all the way on the East Coast of a No Kings kind of ordeal here. I'm going to share it as if you're just joining us, as a World at War special edition. It's been all week, World at War, and how appropriate of a term for it. This entire debacle here is coming out of New Hampshire. It's said to be 4,000 people.
Oh yeah,
that look like 4,000 people.
Yeah, looks like they let the old folks home out.
Okay.
We got them all on the bus. They brought them down to the middle of town, I guess. Intimidating. Does anyone want to tell them that we don't have a king? Just let them do their thing.
Nice to see the youth out here.
It's nice to see the youth out here. Wow, whippersnappers. Don't hit that lady in the walker. Oh
okay,
man!
So there you have it. That's thank you.
What do you do? What do you do with a crowd like that? Depends. Anyway, so yeah, they're hitting people in LA with military grade tear gas, which is much more highly concentrated. It has other chemicals in it that the regular good old tear gas doesn't have in it. So
yes,
that's having an impact.
Government are criminals. Yeah, they can be. They should be. So let's maybe to reiterate, as we're gonna have Frankie call back, as we're gonna try to provide some interviews for everybody as we stare at this. We could go back to the parade, but this is much more newsworthy at the moment. There's just a lot of vehicles, which I'm sure, but I think this is going to take precedent over this. Just to rehash, and right now we have who said the official statement? Was that little Marco Rubio regarding Benjamin Netanyahu?
Let me go back to the statement.
Okay.
The source was no, it's just a unnamed U.S. official in this. So there might be more information here. Maybe Obama knows more. She can enlighten us a little bit more, but yeah, it's just an unnamed U.S. official in that one.
Okay. Let me also emphasize this. There have been Thomas Massey has literally, if you're not following him on X, he literally put out and revealed that Israel is using footage 8-year-old footage of missiles coming into Tel Aviv. They're using old footage, but I also have footage of the Iron Dome totally being left open. So they want Israel to be completely obliterated. He left for Greece. Netanyahu fled for Greece, like all despots do. And they want to, they're going to play the victim card to get the United States into another war. John, there's no doubt about that. That is certainly the plan. It's pretty transparent, if you ask me. And here's what we know now. Here's Netanyahu in Greece. Reportedly fled to Greece. There it is. Yeah, and I think he flew there with them wings on his side there. Wow. Isn't that something? There's Oliveira Street. And I'm not seeing a lot of hostility in the crowd. Are you seeing that from your perspective, John? I've yet to see that in anything we've witnessed.
Not really. And when they're pushing up at City Hall against the National Guard, they seemed pretty tame compared to a few days ago. But maybe LA has put out the warning. Maybe Newsom has made it a lot clearer that they are going to use force. But, I know in Florida, they just shut everything down because they're like, we will kill you.
Here's Thomas Massey and one of his tirades, and we love it. He said the following: National E-Verify is BS. I told you they're not going to use it for immigration enforcement. Even Trump showed you this today. It's one more tracking system that will be used against U.S. citizens. Yeah, the same for the Real ID. Well, this is regarding Trump's post of, quote, our great farmers and people in the hotel and leisure business have been stating at a very aggressive policy on immigration is taking very good long-time workers away from them. With those jobs almost impossible to replace, in many cases, the criminals allowed into our country okay, so we see where this is going, John. It's the build up to the Real ID. Europe has already gone that way. That's why we cover a lot of European issues here at World at War, because what happens in Europe comes to America last. And that's why this is why they want a chaotic war, to strip and repeal more and more civil liberties. But Israel, they are the pimps of pretty much everybody in Congress. Look at this, John. This is, you can't see it on your end, but the same rhetoric, statements, words have been used by virtually everybody from Rick Scott over there in Florida, Lindsey Graham, Senator John Boozman, Steve Daines, Senator Susan Collins, already said that, Congressman Randy Fine, Senator Todd Young, and Tom Cotton Picker, to even Representative Bill, and even Senator Ted Cruz. And here it is, quote, Ted Cruz, here's my message to the Ayatollah. If you strike America, I have every confidence that President Trump will respond overwhelming force. This is what I'm saying. The shills are the ones who are being paid by AIPAC. Those are the treasonous traitors.
And that's the message that they put out. And it's similar to what they did in the media and they've done in the media is they have one singular message. I'm sure you've seen that video clip where everyone is saying the same thing. And that's propaganda. And it's kind of like, it's horrifying, but it's also kind of harmless in a sense. But when all of your politicians are told to say the same thing, then we got trouble.
Well, John, look at the media too. I just displayed this. You have Matt Walsh, Charlie Kirkland, and Jack Posobiec all really pushing the Real ID, because it's all roads lead back to Israel. It all goes into the Palantir, which is Israeli technology.
It's just a public relations mess at this point because it's already pretty much in there. Palantir got that massive contract with the Pentagon, plus other contracts within the Trump administration. They're already inundated. They've been there from day one, and we're going to be seeing a lot more of this infiltration, whether it's Real ID or, they may even start throwing social credit scores at us, because that's ultimately the goal in Europe, and it's already in China. If we don't stop it, It's getting
That's
pretty cool.
right. John, I do have an update from our on-the-ground reporter there that the courthouse, okay, in LA by the City Hall, I've protested there at one point in time. He's now telling me all quiet on the Western Front, and I'm going to show you a little display of that. Again, it should be okay to protest. We're not hating on people who want to exercise their First Amendment and do whatever, on that case. I got to emphasize no violence. So all the violence we've seen in the lead up to this, John, was all paid agitators to then really put a squash on it. Here is the courthouse, all quiet. We time for tamales, aren't they?
Okay.
Okay, there you have that one. Okay, let's get back to this. We have
dispersal order has been issued in downtown LA.
Let me give some credence. Yes, Whitney Webb, who I absolutely adore, has said this for weeks, I would say months, if not years, about what's coming down the pikeway here.
Yeah, can I just rattle it off real quick? So
Yeah,
Palantir, and these things are going to become more and more familiar as we go down the pike here, but get used to the words Palantir: Gotham, Foundry, Apollo, and AIP, which is Artificial Intelligence Platform. And each one of those is used for a different sector of our civilization, basically. And we're gonna, what I should do is like a 4-part report on this and go through each one and how they work, and then we'll all be on the same page as Whitney. But yeah, it is launched, it is funded, it is happening, and the time to push back is now. We are running out of time.
Well, John, I saw Dan Dix running up to Peter Thiel over there in Bilderberg, and that guy looks so demonic to me.
Oh, he is demonic. He's in an interview where it looks like he's almost possessed. He's either that.
Totally
I don't see how somebody that wealthy could have that big a problem with sweating, but he looks like
here we have
he's got the devil poking him right in the tailbone.
Okay, here we have some of our viewers over there in Canada talking about protests happening up north. Here it is. Anti-Trump protesters in Ottawa joined U.S.'s No Kings demonstrations as of 1 hour ago, and are now gathering at the American Embassy in Ottawa. CTV News. Thank you, Aussie Girl, for that. We want to monitor that. If anyone's in the UK or Australia and you have noticed or are noticing currently protests over there, we want to hear from you. Please do that. And you want to call in too, as we're kind of maybe almost sunsetting.
I've got a good clip here. If you want to pull her down, and I'll show you a riot clip.
Yeah, go ahead and show us the wire.
No more Ethiopian clips, I promise.
Oh well, don't punish us too bad. If you want to call in, join the convo. Feel free to do so. Voice your opinion if you are out there. We want to hear from you. Feel free to do so. Wicked Whitney. Yep. Yes, she's wicked. Seth Black says, I hear you guys. That's absolutely correct. And here's Dean Ryan TV saying, join the convo. Feel free to do so. And we'll put this on Rumble. We want to hear your voice. What are your thoughts? Is Trump finished? He looks subdued to me, everybody. I just got to feel. I know he was getting poisoned by General Kelly in the first term. That was verified to me. I know they use thallium to put in people's drinks to mind control you and make you just totally lobotomized. And that's what he seems to me. And that's how I feel. My emotions are my reality in this case. Okay, what are we looking at here, John?
This is a clip from earlier.
There we go.
Caption on X was that the LAPD doesn't even stop for the olds.
Okay.
Ow. This. Here's a little bit of.
Oh, that's uncalled for.
That's the LAPD we all know.
Yeah, that's the LAPD we know.
Anyway, That's it.
Yeah. You know what? I'm not going to cheer on police brutality in any point. That's not what we're about here.
That guy's
Doesn't matter.
obviously a legal American, or he wouldn't.
Yeah, I mean, you know why, everybody? Because when it's our turn to get in the streets, how do you think that's going to look?
Right, and it will be. It will be. It will be the last
Yes.
ones. Will be the last
Yes,
one.
right.
So we do. You got to keep a level head on this whole thing, but
Absolutely.
The protest itself though is completely moronic. No King's idea, but yeah, any kind of brutality is a red flag.
We need. Okay, John, why don't we take a quick break real quick, and let's get back and maybe sum things up here, and we'll see if Frankie calls back at this point. So stand by there, John. You're doing a fantastic job here tonight as you are watching Real Deal Media's World at War special edition, all week long World at War, as we're covering the No King's Day unfold, and we'll even probably look at the parade one more time, and your comments, questions, concerns, and if anyone wants to call in, we'll be open just a little longer, and that's how that one goes. So stand by this quick message.
You don't see many wild stallions anymore. No, you don't see many wild stallions anymore. And even if he did run off 3 of your best mares, he's one of the last of a wild and very singular breed. Come to where the flavor is. Come to Marlboro country.
We are back. We are back. Okay,
We're back.
I think we're back. Welcome back, everybody. Welcome to World at War Special Edition. Joining me, Shotgun, and doing a hell of a job, a fine job. Some guy who's better, way better than Marvel. John.
Nanu.
There you are. Okay, if you're just joining us now, boy, you may.
Dean, I need to tell you that there's a horrible buzzing in your mic. Just one last time. After all those other times, and we're gonna do what they do to you, Dean. You might want to maybe flip something off and flip it back on. And I'll read to everybody what Palantir Gotham is.
Are we good? Is this good?
You're back.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Mother effing earbuds.
Bastards.
Okay. Fuck the earbuds. All right. So, anyways, here's Frankie downtown.
The other side of the federal building.
That's it right there, John.
I know, right? It's like
you want to unmute your.
We should just set up a camera and then have groups go in. All right, go on. You're on. 5 seconds. Go.
They hate Melania too. Oh, yeah. They've got the drone. They got the drone or the robo dogs out. The future. You got to bring this up. Speaking of Palantir, they've got the military future up now, and they got the
Army Research Laboratory robot dogs reflect the latest in Army innovation.
Yeah,
that nice little doggy.
Like
so if you use a 50 cal and you hit them right behind the front right leg, I think that'll take.
I'm telling you, Rowdy Piper was right on.
Robot dogs can
they live.
terrain that may be
absolutely
difficult for soldiers to traverse.
I don't know why. I should be glad that that's protecting me, but it just doesn't feel like it is.
No, and you know the worst part too, John, with those dogs, they still shit on the carpet. That's what I don't like about it. Okay, so just,
and they'll hump your leg.
And yes, they do. Okay,
delete the
here look how murky it is out there. Look how murky.
Yep. It's getting foggy in Washington District of Criminal Land. But God bless the military, and shit, we didn't have them.
Well, I would recommend, and it's just the military stand down if they get sent to go fight in Tel Aviv.
Yeah.
Okay.
Here's
one last clip, John Mountain. Here's one last clip of Frankie. He sent to us. He's right in the thick of it. Before we,
God bless America.
Yeah, before we go the way of Yahoos in this world, here is Frankie's last clip here. That was a Greek flag. Those were some heroes. Gyros on the watching World War Special Edition of Dean Ryan. And I used to frequent these areas, my old stomping grounds.
The oldest unit at West Point. Wow. This is the United States.
Here we have this one here.
Academy Band, ladies and gentlemen.
And just to clear the air, a lot of people are saying that Southwest part of the United States was once Mexico, and that they deserve to have it back, but Mexico only had those territories for like 27 years, and we've had them for like 172. And then I saw a clip today of a guy speaking in Mexican, and he was saying that, you guys want to take back, New Mexico and Arizona and California and Colorado. But we're getting our butts kicked in Mexico right now. We can't even fight to get back the places in Mexico that we're trying to get back. So, good luck with that. So that whole dilemma with the Mexican flags everywhere, that's why they're wearing those, and they're walking around. You got half the people saying no kings when we've clearly got a republic going on here. And then the other half are saying we're taking it back for Mexico. And first problem with that is they fled Mexico. So you want to bring more Mexico here. You ran away from Mexico, and you want more Mexican government here that you ran away from. But secondly, this isn't Mexico. So there's no kings. Just to reiterate, no kings. This isn't Mexico. It never will be.
Okay, we have Frankie calling back in. Let's make sure he's okay before we get the H out of here. He's got some live feeds for us. Frankie, if you can hear us, we're about to end our delayed coverage here. As my technology is failing me, and per usual, give us the latest briefing, Frankie, if you can.
Sure. Actually, I'm down here on Temple and Spring Street, about a block away from City Hall. And if you remember the tear gas that went off about a block and a half ago, or about a half an hour ago, I can actually feel irritation in my eyes. So they're definitely egressing out of here. They're trying to, and I'm not dancing. I'm just telling you like it is. It makes sense. That's how long it would take to get to us because of the wind patterns. So I don't know if we can get any closer. I think.
Ask Frankie if he's the THC user and how he feels about that.
Go ahead. Go ahead. Ask again.
Hey, Frankie.
John.
Frankie, John.
Yes. Hey,
are you a user of cannabis?
One more time.
Do you use THC product?
Yes, I do.
How North Korea works.
This is how North Korea works. Why?
You don't do something right?
Why not? Stay safe, my brother.
Are there people angry about Newsom trying to take away the cannabis?
No, that's probably not on their mind right now. I think it'll go federal anyway. And then once that happens, then it'll be wide open for products. Right now, because it's illegal federally, is why you're not seeing it only localized state by state. But once it goes federally legal, that'll be when Big Pharma collapses, because it can cure many things and help them. But that's a whole different rabbit hole that I'm familiar with.
More often.
Oh, what's going on there? What's going on there, Frankie?
It seems like somebody's like fireworks. So that's the sound of M80s, cherry bombs, blockbusters, usually consumer stuff. Highly illegal in California, but yeah, that's just people trying to raise hell. It is what it is.
Frankie, we also have Seth Black saying it's a dust plume that we reported on about a week ago that's all over the East Coast. I can attest to that, as I'm just a few hours out of DC. We have our man of the hour here, Frankie, who is in downtown LA live with yours truly here in the Great John Brown coming out of Austin. Look at so there's a lot of spectators. Do you see a lot of journalists? Do you see a lot of media out there, Frankie, from what you're seeing?
None of the mainstream, but like this, there's a lot of people here with press badges, but they're just walking around like this guy here. Flank, he's got a flank bracket on. Looks like he's got some type of protection. Press.
Okay.
It's not legacy. It's not like 457, KTLA, and all that. They're probably, I don't know where they are. They're probably up there in the sky. I don't know if they have any local guys, but I haven't seen anybody yet from the local channels, but I know they're down there for sure. Absolutely. Oh, wait, hold on.
That just real quick, that's my hair and dust plume is crazy.
Here we go. This guy's doing it, right? Here we go, Dean. Here we go. See the guy? He's got the camera. Oh, it's Telemundo.
Oh,
Telemundo. Telemundo's down here. There's the camera. There's the guy. I was going to wait for
Okay.
Imagine the radiation.
Stay safe out there, brothers. Stay safe. Thank you. No, they're not tuning in recording now. But Telemundo's a big station. I used to service it when I was at Capitol. Film and TV. It was one of our biggest clients when I was working. I worked in the Latin division for about 2 years. Promotions, marketing. There they go. So it's like, if I had to describe the atmosphere, except for the fireworks going off and the police, it's pretty much like a July 4th, anti-July 4th. You know what I mean? It's like this, trying to celebrate the freedom of speech and First Amendment while protesting law and order. You see what I mean? It's kind of like a snafu. It doesn't make sense. It's just part of the narrative, guys. But as you can see...
Okay. Frankie, Frankie, it looks like they're going to shut it down, Frankie. It looks like they're going to shut things down here as we have Trump who's now speaking. Let's go to Donald Trump,
I didn't really know
who may be speaking. Is he speaking, John, or is this just B-roll?
No, this is
Okay.
just interviews with.
Okay, he looks very.
Every time that he lives outside.
Okay, we'll get back to Frankie.
Yeah, I've got him on. He might end up speaking here soon. It's yeah.
Okay, Frankie, we're kind of sunsetting here tonight. John, I can tell you some of the reports coming out about Trump and Netanyahu. It appears that now Trump sides with Israeli people against Netanyahu. This just came out by The Atlantic hours ago. There's, I mean, he has no choice. Trump is already
with the other faction in the Israeli government.
Yeah, he's siding with the other faction in Israel. I mean, you have former prime ministers of Israel that they're saying, yeah, this is an ethnic cleansing they're doing in Gaza. You have former prime ministers saying this is. You had Russian Federation just early hours. I was monitoring it, saying that this was an aggression by Israel. We'll come back to Frankie here in a little bit. I'm sweating profusely. I don't know if you can see. Okay, so we lost his feed, but
dust out there. It's pretty hot out there, Virginia, isn't it?
But here's what I'm saying. So here's where I'm getting at here. Trump sides with the other faction, but you have former prime ministers now coming out against this. But Russia and China are the big factors who are going against Israel. In what we saw on a display just 2 days and 2 nights ago. But but no matter how you slice it, it's not looking good, John. It's not looking good. Trump doesn't even look good to me. He looks very weakened. I think they've got him. He looks very subdued, tired.
He does look tired today.
He's hunched over. He's not looking good. I think they've got him captured or something. Something weird is going on. I knew about.
Who knows? He's 79.
Yeah, it's something weird.
He might have had a long night with Melania or something.
Okay, we're gonna get out of here. We want to invite our members to join us. Feel free to join us backstage if you'd like. Following this broadcast, kind of in closing here, John.
Yeah.
Okay. Final thoughts, John, and kind of everything we have witnessed and commentated on here today, because it's a lot. Final thoughts there, John Bound over there in Austin.
Well, just keep an eye on what happened today in Minnesota. It's really bizarre. And the increasing attacks by the left and the Democrats, they're gradually, well, not gradually. I think they're there. I think they are a domestic terror group. And they're threatened by, what they perceive as domestic terror groups like the Proud Boys, which they aren't. But they're legit. And this guy today that pulled this off is a very strange character. The more that we learn about him over the coming days, he had an operation going on over in Africa. He worked for Tim Waltz. He's been working for him for over a decade. He's got a bunch of morgues that he's got going on with business wise, and then he's got a security company, and he shot these people, and the police showed up, and he got away, and he's still loose. They're shelter in place right now, and they seem pretty desperate in Minnesota or Minneapolis, St. Paul area, because they're asking the public for help. Well, how are you going to help when you're sheltered in place? So
good point. And I want to reiterate, history repeats itself, kind of ordeal. History repeats itself when the pendulum is now swinging the other way. It's our job as the good stewards here of society, whether you're in media or outside of it, whatever the case, to hold the fort and maintain some civility. And we've been here before. Let's not forget how we got here initially, just years ago. Israel puts pressure on U.S. to strike Iraq with the same rhetoric. We got to stop falling for this. And many of us who are watching this now all over the world know that fact is, war, what is it good for? Absolutely nothing, they say. I want to thank, Frankie over there on the grounds live in Los Angeles.
That was great, man.
He's getting tear gas in his eyes, John, and getting shot at.
The good stuff too. I mean,
I want to thank him.
That's pretty
okay.
hard.
And he's now telling me his wife, she can't see anything. Okay, that's terrible. We got to thank him.
They got we got to send them we
got to thank him. I also want to thank all of our Night Owls for helping us with the links and everybody, all of our viewers. This is a group effort all over the world. We want to thank you for that. And you can, follow us. I'll be back accordingly. But you can catch me Monday and catch John Bowen on X. You can catch his exclusive interview.
And Substack, boundreport.substack.com.
Right, you can catch John Bowen's Newsbound over there on X. You don't want to miss that exclusive interview. I know I'm going to watch it here in a little bit. Okay, so we're going to leave it there. So for Frank over there in Los Angeles, for John over there in Austin, and for all of you, this effective audience all over the world, I'm Dean Ryan, saying thank you for sharing a bit of your midday with all of us as the world is changing and history is being made. In the meanwhile, always remember to stay tuned and stay away, because this is a world at war.
Stay